Yay, we're live. Nobody's on here yet, but that's awesome. I'm gonna save all my good jokes. I don't really have any good jokes today, but I'm gonna save them for when people actually get on, which should hopefully be in a minute. So I'm gonna find a good corny joke for this Sunday. Hello, welcome. I'm looking for a corny joke to tell before we start practice as we wait for a few more people probably to join us. So as you're coming on, make sure you've got a blanket, a couple of books or yoga blocks, and a pillow. You may want those for your yin practice today. If you have a moment, maybe type a comment, let me know who's joining. So yeah, it'll be good stuff. Hi friends, welcome. I'm a little loopy on this Sunday. Did some yard work today, so it is definitely good for a Sunday yin practice. A pillow, a blanket, blocks or books. We're just going to wait another minute or so for hopefully others to join us. So go ahead and gather your props if you'd like. Yeah, so feel free to let me know who's joining, because that's always fun to know who's joining us. So, well, like I said, we'll give it another minute and then we will go ahead and get started. It's going to be awesome. It's been a Sunday. It's my wedding dance. Might be a light group today. That's all right. That is A-okay. Like I said, if you want to let me know who's on, feel free to leave a comment, or if you prefer to be like, no, I don't want to be known, that's fine too. You do you. All right, so before we get started, I'm going to tell my corny joke in my pre-yoga monologue. What do you call a belt made out of $100 bills? A waste of money. Ha ha. All right, friends, take a moment here. Turn off. My housemate's practicing over there, and I just got like the not a good joke. All right, take a moment, turn off your cell phones. I always use my cell phone for a timer, but it is on Do Not Disturb, and I promise it is only just for a timer. So there is our good old check. Hi, Lindsay. Hi, Hallie's friend. Hi, Kate. Good to see you. I'm glad to see you. You know what I mean, but I wish I could see you in actual person. Yay, friends. All right. Well, hopefully we'll keep coming back and my corny joke didn't scare you too much. All right. So in your body. So feel free to lie on the ground. Feel free to sit crisscross applesauce. You can stay on your back, on your belly. Child's pose if you'd like, whatever you need the most here. And let's start by taking a couple of deep, slow breaths in through the nose. And exhale, open the mouth. Let it go. Take a deep, slow breath in through the nose. And exhale, open the mouth. Let it go. One final time here, full breath in through the nose. And exhale, sigh it out, let it go. You are here. And for the next 60 minutes, you have nowhere else to be in this space and on your mat. So take a moment to notice outside sounds. Sounds that are farther away, and sounds that are closer to you. Just noticing the ebb and the flow of those sounds. And then start to let the outside world truly fade around you. Beginning to bring your focus to your breath, a gentle awareness to the rise of the inhale and the fall of the exhale. Just noticing where the breath is starting in the body, where you feel the breath move and how it's moving. Is it shallow? Is it heavy? Is it comfortable or uncomfortable? Do any feelings and emotions come up as you breathe? If something comes up, that's okay. Just notice it. Maybe take a moment to acknowledge it. And if it feels right, just set it off to the side at the moment. Especially if it's one that maybe isn't serving you. But if this is the time that you need to work through that, that's fine too. This is your space. And as you continue to become familiar with your breath, let's take a full body scan, working from the head down to the toes. Noticing any areas of tension or emotion or sensation that you might be bringing onto your mat with you, that you're feeling in this moment. And as you take this observation, this internal observation, do so from a place that's without judgment. Because there's no right or wrong way to show up to your mat. You made it. You showed up. And if at the end of this you're like, I just want to be here and lay on my belly, that's fine. That's what you need to do right now. And I invite you to start deepening your breath. Feeling the cool air come in through the nose as the lungs fill up, press the air down all the way to the base of the spine. And then as you breathe out, feel the breath travel from the base of the spine all the way up to the crown of the head. As you inhale, fill up, filling up belly, back, and ribs. And then as you exhale, feel the breath travel up gently as everything moves back towards center. And let's start by just finding an ease with the breath as we begin to elongate the inhale. To help us find a cooling impact with our breath, we're going to all breathe together. So meeting at the bottom of your next exhale, let's breathe in for a count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for a count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breath in for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last time with this 1-to-1 ratio. Inhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slow inhale for a count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slight pause at the top. And this time let's exhale for a count of 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slow inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slight pause and exhale for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, slight pause, and exhale for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take that 3 more times on your own here. Find your breath rhythm, understand your count. So as you're moving through this breath exercise, note that on the exhale, we're not breathing out more air. We're just taking longer to let the air out. If you do find that this breath is bringing up anything negative that's causing anxiety, please stop at the moment and just go back to a 1-to-1 ratio. If you're staying with this breath, we're extending the exhale because that is going to help us cool down the body and really start to let the mind go. And that's what we want to work toward in our yin practice today. And after you've completed your 3 full rounds, no rush, just pause for a moment. Let your breath start to return back to its natural rhythm. But keep a soft, gentle awareness on the breath. Notice where you feel the breath start now. Notice how the breath moves. And take that full body scan once again. Notice if there's anything different. Notice if things have stayed the same. And tonight, we're going to keep our meditation throughout the practice very simple. It's a very simple mantra. I am here. So allowing yourself to be here in this moment, in your breath, and in your body. And if you find that mantra doesn't call to you, please feel free to take any other mantra that does. Or one of my personal favorites is that as I inhale, I say inhale, and as I exhale, I silently say exhale. But that little tool to help you stay present here as we move throughout our shapes today. And as you're ready, very slowly, very gently, begin to find your way up to a comfortable seat. Hopefully we're already starting to feel a little bit more grounded, a little bit more at peace as we work toward relaxation in the body. So we're going to work the spine in all directions, right, this evening, because we might have been sitting a bit more, or we're going to be sitting a bit more. And so let's open up the spine and let's loosen it up. We'll start in caterpillar pose. So bring your legs out nice and long in front of you. Feel free to sit up on your pillow or even on one of your blocks or books. We want the hips to find their front tilt, or your anterior tilt. So from here, sit up nice and tall, and then begin to just walk the arms out in front of you till you find you can't go any further, and then you're just going to begin to fold here. Now in yin, we want to make sure we only go to about a 70%. Going past that was when we're really starting to force the shape and not letting gravity and time do the work. To help us find that 70%, you might consider taking a blanket or your pillow that's your bolster and placing it underneath the chest, giving you a soft place to land. Let the head just hang here. Okay, and we'll be here for 4 minutes. So for those of you who are new to the yin practice, yin is a practice where we hold shapes much longer than we would in, say, our active practice. We're using the time, and we're using gravity to help us sink deeper into the shapes. This is something we don't want to force. We just want to gently see what the body brings up. The longer held shapes allow us to tap into our breath, and more importantly, we're starting to repattern the fascia. And so we can open up and release energy that might be stagnant in that place. So as you find your shape here, first and foremost, make sure that you're only feeling discomfort, not pain. Pain is the opposite of what we want, and discomfort is our main goal. Not our main goal, excuse me, but it's what we're working with here. And we're going to use the breath to help us into that relaxation response. So I have set my timer. We've got about another 3 minutes left in this shape. So go ahead and just find your breath. Come into your mantra. And as you breathe in, I am. And as you breathe out here, let control of the breath start to move toward effortlessness throughout the entirety of the practice. And I'm going to go silent for the next little bit, and I'll give you a 30-second warning. So find a place where you feel the most comfortable to be in your breath and in your body. We have about 30 seconds left here. Let's breathe deeply and breathe slowly. Wherever you're at, take a full breath in and a full breath out. As you're ready, just gently start to unwind, come out of your shape. Might feel good to just bring your hands behind you and open up the heart there. So with that shape, we're starting to work into the fascia along the back sides of the body. And depending on where you might be the tightest or where the patterns are in your body based on how you sit, walk, sleep, all that fun stuff, can depend on where you feel it. You might have felt it more in the back. You might have felt it more in the hamstrings, but it was to open up that back side. From here, we're going to specifically keep with our extension, but we want to work into our low back. So we'll come into a butterfly shape, and we'll take 2 variations of butterfly today. Again, feel free to sit up on your prop. That's going to help you find your anterior tilt of the pelvis, and consider bringing your legs out to more of a diamond. That'll make it more of a restorative shape. You can place blocks underneath the knees. If the knees don't want to come down to the ground, that's not a problem. We'll just create new ground. Stick those right underneath there. And then from here, we'll sit up nice and tall. And then my favorite part, fold forward. Just flop. Let everything fold. And so what's great about this shape, I think it's fun. Hopefully you do too. It reminds me of being a kid again. But it allows us to get into the low back without requiring loose hamstrings. And depending on where your legs are at too, you might feel a stretch on the inside of the legs. So let the back round, let the head fall heavy. You may even use one of your props to help rest your head on to find that. So work into your 70%. We'll be here for 4 minutes. And so as we move through the progression of our shapes, of our practice, keep the focus on the breath. It's in the stillness that the mind likes to wander and be like, ooh, what's that other thing that's happening? What's going on over there? I'm thinking about dinner or your cocktail afterwards. No judgment here. And when those thoughts come up, just say, no, thank you, and just move it off to the side. You can revisit that conversation later. So come back to your mantra, your technique that's keeping you in the breath, keeping you in this moment. If you've been doing this for a little bit and you're finding that the breath isn't holding you present here, that's all right. 70% of the world's meditators say that it's really hard to let the breath be the thing that grounds them. If that's describing you this evening, find an internal sound that you can focus on. So sometimes a grumbly tummy can be a very good internal sound. You might find that just noticing the weight of your body on the mat is what keeps you here. And then I'm going to be radio silent for the next almost 3 minutes, and I'll give you that 30-second warning as well. About 30 seconds left here. Breathe deeply, breathe slowly. Let's all take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Very gently start to come on up. And from here, you might windshield wiper the feet from side to side. And then as you're ready, extend your left leg out nice and long. Keep the right sole of the foot on the inside. So we'll come into our half butterfly. We're actually going to hold this shape for 6 minutes and take 2 variations in this shape. Okay, so I do recommend, depending on what your floor is like, you might want to do this on the long edge of your mat, just so you have a little bit more, just a bit more comfortable for the ankles. Grab either a rolled up blanket, one of your yoga props, whether that's a book, bolster, whatever, and place it on the outside of the knee. So we're going to start in our lateral movement to work into the QL muscle. So from here, I like to start by bringing my chest over the right knee, and then just like tilt yourself over to the side. Your forearm can come onto your blocks or your books. And the more we let the head hang heavy, it's going to help deepen the stretch. Okay. If that gets to be too much, you're like past 70%, no thank you. Come into the I'm bored look. Or maybe it's just a sideways thinker. You decide, whatever fancies you. And you'll be here. This other hand, just kind of let hang loosey-goosey. In about 30 seconds or so, you won't really notice it. So we'll be 3 minutes in this variation and 3 minutes in the other variation. So still working into the back, working into the side of the body as well. Main target really being the QL muscle, which works in the spine and also for the hips as well. So we're getting almost a double whammy, if you will. And depending on how your back is feeling, this is why when the mind might be going, what is happening? Try and breathe. Take a couple of breaths. And then if still a little bit of movement is required, that's okay. Come out of it and come right back into it. But do your best to work towards stillness and don't force yourself into the shape. Use the breath to help you ease in. You'd be surprised at what happens when we just focus on the breath in these moments. What starts to loosen up? What starts to become available? We have about 30 seconds left in this variation. And on your next inhale, slowly just start to lift up and then turn the chest toward the knee. You can adjust your blocks if you'd like to place them on the outside. You can always use your rolled up blanket for the chest. Again, feel free to bring the ground closer to you. It's awesome. And we don't have to be like all the way onto the ground or all the way onto our knee. We'll hold here for 3 minutes. So find your breath. Notice any difference that have come up in this shape. For me right now, my right knee wants to move in, which is very interesting. So I don't know what that means. I'll figure it out. But I'm going to be really silent through all of this. Let you all be with your breath, stay with your breath, and I'll give you the 30-second warning. About 30 seconds left here. Breathe deeply. Breathe slowly. And take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. Begin to slowly come on up. Moans and groans are perfectly acceptable as you come out of shapes. The first sound of oh my gosh is om. So there's got to be something hopefully good there. And before we move on to the other side, I invite you to come onto your back for a puddle pose. So puddle is an opportunity for us to let the benefits of the shape start to integrate into the body. So what happens when we loosen up the fascia? Not only are we changing the patterns in the body, but we might be releasing stagnant energy or blocked energy. And we want a chance for that to move around and for us to notice what that feels like in the body and see what that brings up. And puddle's a great opportunity for us to do that. Just let everything hang nice and heavy. Maybe take a couple of breaths in and out. Close the eyes. Knowing that you are safe in this moment. And take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. Roll over onto the left side of the body, curling up for a moment into a ball, and using this as an opportunity to give yourself a really big hug. Reminding yourself that you are enough, that you are awesome, and that you showed up. That's what matters the most. And then as you're ready, begin to find your way back up to your comfortable seat. We're going to move on to the other side. So, our right leg is getting nice and long. Left foot's going to come in. Again, bring books, blankets on the outside of the straightened right leg. We're going to work into the QL muscle on the other side. If there's any movements you need to take in between the other side, that's fine. You know, a tabletop and hip movements might actually feel really good. So as you're ready, turn to that left knee and then lean on over. So you might notice some differences between the two sides, where the side might be a bit more accessible, it might be tighter. This side could bring up some more emotions than that. We typically tend to start on the left side in the yin practices. That's the yin side of the body. It's the passive side. It's where our moon and cooling energy are. And our right side's the exact opposite of all of that. So it's our active energy. It's our sun energy. And so that can also play a role here too. And since we've talked a lot about this shape already, and I'm sure you're all bored with hearing my voice, it's all right. I'm just going to leave you all in silence, and I'll give you the 30-second warning before we switch the variation. About 30 seconds left in this variation. Maybe for this last 30 seconds, the body's like, you can release the hand and see what happens. Maybe it's like, no, thank you. You keep the hand up. You come out of it for just a moment. It's really what you need here. And take a slow breath in and a slow breath out. Ready to start to come on up and adjust the body, the heart, so it's over the leg. And move any props that you need around. And then softly fold to whatever feels best for you. About 30 seconds left here. Find your deepest breath yet. Continue to slow down the heart rate. Slow down the mind. And take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Inhale, just slowly start to come on up. And find your way to your puddle pose on your back, on your belly. Whatever you need here. Move our yoga props off to the side. It's okay if you feel like bending the knees. Let's take a moment to sink into the earth. Let the ground hold you up. Dear friends, as you're ready, roll over onto your left side. Pause for a moment. Give yourself a really big hug once again. And then let's find our way onto our bellies. We're going to take Sphinx pose. So Sphinx is going to help us work into flexion of the back. And so from here, you're going to start to bring your hands or your arms out to an 11. Move that out to an 11. The elbows are going to be in front of the shoulder. And as you come into this, you might begin to feel some compression in the low back. We do want that compression, but you can adjust the amount of compression in the body. So to have a bit more, if you're like, I could use a little bit more, bring the elbows back in, or consider straightening through the arms and coming into seal pose. If you need a little bit less, just walk the elbows out in front of the body a little bit. So you just lower the angle of the back. You can always use maybe a rolled up blanket or your pillow, depending on how big it is, to place underneath the arms just to provide a little extra support for the chest. One thing we want to be very mindful of in this shape is that we don't want everything to droop. So do try and find a place where you can sit up and have some, and feel the heart shine forward. So we'll be here for 4 minutes. Close the eyes if that feels good, or just find a soft point for your gaze. So the compression in the low back that we're feeling is helping us lubricate the disc in between the vertebra. And that's really important stuff that we want to do because over time, unfortunately, these discs tend to dry out. So if you think of them like a sponge, you want to wring out all that gunk, and then when we come out of it, it should be like a nicer, newer sponge. So while we can't stop the vertebra from drying out, we can help maybe slow that potentially. We're working into flexion of the spine and getting a little bit of a heart opener so we can hopefully greet the day tomorrow from a heart-centered place. And I'm going to go silent. Let you be in the moment. So find your breath here. And trust your breath. And I'll let you know at our 30-second marker. You have about 30 seconds left here. Take a deep breath in and a slow breath out. Gently lower the chest all the way to the ground. Maybe use your hands as a pillow. Settle into your puddle. Just checking back in with the body at this point, noticing how you feel. And then from here, when you're ready, go ahead and roll over onto your back. We'll come into one final shape. And take a gentle twist on each side to help us reset the spine and reset the nervous system. So let's start by bringing our knees into our chest. And actually, let's reach for the outsides of the feet. Just taking a small happy baby here, rocking from side to side, massaging out the low back. And then as you're ready, just draw the knees into the chest. Drop them over to the left, gaze to the right. So we want to try and keep the shoulders level. Feel free to bring a block or a book or your blanket underneath one of the shoulders to kind of create that new level ground for yourself. Take up as much space as you want. Let those arms go nice and wide if that feels good. If not, you maybe bring them in a little bit more. It's truly up to you. And just really start to let everything go in the twist. We're going to be here for about 2 minutes. Feel free to put a block underneath the knees if that helps. Maybe place something in between the knees as well. Just start to let go. Keep a slight awareness on the breath. See if you can begin to let the brain melt out to the sides. Truly finding rest here. You have about 30 seconds left here. And take a deep breath in, deep breath out. Draw the knees back through center. Maybe you transition through a happy baby right now, if that feels good. If not, go ahead and bring the knees over to the other side. So make any adjustments you need to in the shape. Help the shoulders stay level, or it might just feel good to start to bring the pillow underneath the head, heading toward that sleeping yoga, if you will, nap time yoga. And then as you're ready, if you haven't done so, let's find our way to the other side. So drop the knees over to the right and gaze to the left. We'll be here for 2 minutes and our final shape. About 30 seconds left here. Take a deep breath in, deep breath out. As you're ready, draw your knees back through center. Maybe you transition back through a happy baby. And maybe you're like, nah, I'm good. And come right into Savasana, final resting pose. Taking your time to get wherever you need to be at in this final shape. Big puddle pose at the end of the practice. Feel free to even take this on your belly if that feels better. And as you arrive, give yourself 3 deep breaths. And just notice what that does for the body, what that does for the mind. And see if those 3 breaths will help you sink deeper. Let go of holding yourself up. Let the ground do the work for you. It's okay. And just be here. As you start to settle in, starting from the toes, working up to the head, just turn each and every muscle, ligament, bone off. Let the bones feel as if everything is sliding off of them. Let the joints feel a little bit looser. Take a moment to thank the pelvis for all it's done for you today and all that it will do. Take a moment to let the mind rest. Release the jaw from the hinges. Let the roof of the mouth rise. Let go. Begin to feel the weight of your body on the earth. Start to invite some gentle movement back into the body by wiggling the fingers and the toes. Reach the arms and the legs long overhead as if you're taking a full body stretch. And then begin to gently transition to a comfortable seat at the top of your mat. Take your time, no rush. Let's take one final breath together. So empty everything out. We'll breathe in for a count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. Exhale, lion's breath, let everything go. As we lift our hands to our heart space, honor the intention or focus you may have set at the beginning of your practice. I invite you to bow your head to your hands in a moment of gratitude, thanking yourself first and foremost for making time and space for your yoga practice today, time for yourself. And then silently thank those who have joined us here in this virtual community. Thank them for sharing your practice with you, sharing this space. And as we lift our thumbs to the space between the eyes, the third eye center, the seat of the intuition, know that everything you need is already inside. Thank you so much for letting me serve you this evening. Namaste. Thank you so much, friends. I hope you all have a fantastic week, and I hope you'll join me again for something else, maybe some more yin, slow flow plus yin on Friday, as well as yin next Sunday. If there's anything you ever want to work on and any of the practices, let me know. I'm totally open to suggestion and would love to just offer that up. Hi, Kelsey. I just saw your comment. I'm so glad you and your friend were able to join. Kate, I can't wait to see you again in person. And Lindsay, thank you so much for being here as well. Everybody else who I don't know is here. Big hugs to you all, and have a great, great Sunday and a fabulous week. See y'all next time.